There's a woman 2 desks down from you. Let us call her Priya. She's the one everyone routes the hard problems to. When something breaks at 11 at night, she's the one who answers. For 6 years, she never once threatened to leave. Last month, she left. And the person who replaced her is worse at the job and somehow more secure in it. This is not a story about Priya. It is a story about a rule your company runs on. A rule that has a name: flight risk. Here's what you have always assumed. You assumed your company keeps people based on what they're worth. The strong ones get protected, the weak ones get managed out. That's the story you were handed on your first day. It is not how the building works. Your company does not run on a measure of what you contribute. It runs on 2 numbers it almost never says out loud. The first is how likely you are to leave. The second is how expensive you are to remove. That's it. That's the whole machine. The retention budget, the raises, the counteroffers, the sudden new title does not flow to the most valuable people. It flows to the people the company believes are about to walk. The term for that person is a flight risk. And the brutal part is simple. If you have never made yourself a flight risk, you have never been priced. Think about Priya. For 6 years, she was the safest person in the building. She never updated her profile. She never took the recruiter call. She never let anyone above her feel the floor move. So the system read her as zero risk. And zero risk means zero investment. Every quiet, loyal, dependable year, she made herself cheaper to ignore. By the end of this video, you are going to understand the flight risk rule completely. And once you see it, you will understand every resignation you have ever witnessed, including the ones that surprised you. Now, here's the part nobody warns you about. You've been told the bad employees survive because of politics, or luck, or a manager who can't see straight. That's not it either. The bad employees survive for the exact same reason Priya was ignored. They are not a flight risk. The person who coasts is not going anywhere. They have no other offer. They aren't interviewing. They are, by the only number that matters, perfectly stable. And removing them is expensive. The documentation, the meetings, the legal exposure, the risk. So the machine does the rational thing. It leaves them exactly where they are. You are now looking at the 2 doors. Through one door, the company spends real money to keep people who signal they might leave. Through the other door, it spends nothing to keep people who could never leave. Contribution does not open either door. Only flight risk does. The good people figure this out eventually, usually around year 5 or 6. They realize that everything they were taught, keep your head down, do the work, be reliable, was advice for being kept cheap. So they finally become a flight risk. They interview, they get the number, and then almost always they're gone before the counteroffer can land. Because here's the cruelty inside the rule. By the time a good employee becomes a flight risk, they have already decided. The offer that would have kept them 2 years ago arrives the week they resign. Too late by design. Let me show you the rule operating one level up, where the stakes are higher. There's a director, call him Tom. Tom runs a team of 11. 2 of them are quietly carrying the other 9. Tom knows it, everyone knows it. When budget season comes, Tom does not protect his 2 best people. He protects his most visible risk, the one who's been grumbling, the one a competitor has been circling. Not because Tom is cruel, because Tom is also being measured on flight risk by the same machine 1 floor up.
So this is the definition. Hold on to it. A flight risk is anyone the company believes might leave, and your entire value to the retention system is your perceived probability of walking out the door. Not your work, your probability. And once you have a name for it, you cannot stop seeing it. You will see it in who got the surprise raise. You will see it in who survived the last round of cuts. You will see it in the coworker who does nothing and somehow cannot be touched. So let me say the thing you need to hear. You did everything right. You were reliable, you were loyal, you never made the floor move. And every one of those instincts was correct for the job and wrong for the system that prices the job. You were not naive. You were following the map you were handed. The map was incomplete. You do not have to become someone you are not, but you do have to understand that loyalty is not read as loyalty. It is read as a zero, a safe, stable, unpriced zero. The flight risk rule does not reward the person who stays. It rewards the person the company is afraid to lose. Priya understood that, eventually. The coworker who never leaves understands it too in his own way. The only person who usually does not understand it is the one still waiting to be rewarded for being dependable. That is the rule, flight risk. Once you can name it, you will never read a resignation, a raise, or a survivor of a layoff the same way again. That is corporate GPS, the map they never handed you.